What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here today with a review for The Real Housewives of Miami, Season 5, Episode 1. Episode is titled Not So New Beginnings. So, before we go ahead and get into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and aren't subscribed to the channel yet, do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turn your post notifications on, and sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss The Real Housewives of Miami, shall we? All right, you guys, so I'm just gonna go in order of my notes for the most part. So season 5, we open up and we're just being reintroduced to the girls. So everybody is back from season 4. So Alexia, Nicole, Larsa, Lisa, Adriana, Kiki, Marisol, Gertie, Julia. Everybody is back, and looks like they've officially brought Kiki on as a friend of the Housewives this season, because Kiki got an interview look, and Kiki even was part of the the cast photo. So looks like Kiki is a part of the group, right? So we open up the episode and we're with Alexia. So we see Alexia, she's at her, her spa, and Marisol came down there and joined her, right? So, Alexia is just basically talking about how good things are for her currently, right? Her and Todd got married, I think at the top of the year. Because you guys remember last year when they were planning their wedding and they had their wedding date planned, you guys remember her mother actually passed away on her wedding date. So she pushed it out, but she, like I said, she and Todd eloped last year. And she's just talking about how good things are. And she's glad that they waited to elope. And she just feels like, so much good is coming to her currently, right? And Marisol is like, yeah, even after her mom died, Mama Elsa, may she rest in peace. Marisol is talking about how things have gotten better for her. When it comes to Marisol, baby, Marisol gives me a lush, because Marisol has always got a cocktail in her hand somewhere. But that's really all I got for Alexia. Actually, no, that's not all I got for Alexia. So Alexia is also talking about the fact that, when she wanted, you guys know, last season, Gertie was helping her plan the wedding, right? So when she and Ty were ready to go through with the plans and everything, she reached out to Gertie. She says she didn't get a great reception from Gertie. Gertie says the opposite, and we'll talk about Gertie in just a little bit, but let's pause here and let's move forward. So next up, you guys, we got Julia. So of the Miami Housewives, Julia is my favorite. Like, I love me some Julia. I rocks with Julia. Julia is my girl. I love Julia and I love Gertie, but Gertie, she's a little talkative, but I still like Gertie, right? So we see Julia, she's with Adriana and Nicole. So they're getting ready to go to the Miami Open, and at the Miami Open, Martina is commentating. So I think it was Nicole who asked Julia, like, so who's playing? She's like, I don't know. All she knows is her wife is going to be coming. And I think that's the coolest thing for me, that Miami is the first Housewives franchise to have a open lesbian. I don't know if Julia considers herself a lesbian, but I just love the fact, I don't know if she considers herself a lesbian or bisexual. Whatever she is, I love that she's the first housewife who is married to a woman. Now, you guys know we got football head over there on Potomac who likes women. We had, what is her name? Oh, Bronwyn from OC, who has a girlfriend. I kind of wish I had brought Bronwyn back for last season, but hey, it is what it is, right? So we find out from Julia that, she and Martina, they are currently empty nesters, and they've been empty nesters for the last 10 months, right? But in conjunction with that, Martina has been doing a lot of traveling, so I guess Julia's feeling a little bit lonely. So this is where they had me tripping out, right? So at one point they were talking about Larsa. So I'll talk about Larsa in just a minute, but they were talking about Larsa and the fact that, so you guys know Larsa and Julia, and I saw this. Larsa and Julia, they've had a little social media beef. You guys saw them at the reunion last season. So Larsa and Julia just don't see of each other, right? So you guys know Larsa and Adriana have been going back and forth for years, right? So Larsa said something about Adriana, and then Julia came up under the comment and said something to her, and then Larsa came back and like, mind your business, you weirdo. And Julia was like, I'm a weirdo? Me, a weirdo. And then you guys, this scene where Julia has these cucumbers all over her face. I was like, I love you, Julia, but that is a little bit weird. But hey, it is what it is. Y'all know I fucks with Julia. But that's really all I got, right? Oh, so Julia unfollowed Larsa because she got tired of seeing her cleavage. We gonna talk about Larsa in a little bit. Girl, that ass. We're gonna talk about it in a little bit. So yeah, Julia unfollowed Larsa. Larsa went back, unfollowed her, and then blocked her. I'm like, y'all are too old for this shit, but it's funny. Let's pause here and let's move forward, you guys. Oh my God, you guys, Lisa. Ooh. Lisa's storyline is, I know Lisa's going to be the focal point of this season because of the situation with Lenny, but God, watching this first episode, it was just like, girl, the writings were on the wall. I know probably hindsight, looking back at it, she's like, damn, I should have saw the warning signs, right? So Lisa went over to Marsal's place, and like I said earlier, one thing Marsal's going to do is drink screwdriver. I was like, girl, you might want to go, you might want to, you look a little bit like an alcoholic, but just saying. So Kiki is back. Kiki got a better wig. I was like, thank God. Kiki's wigs look better this season, right? So Lisa is talking about the fact that, her son and her daughter, they sleep in her bed. So Kiki says, are you and Lenny having sex? She says, no, Lenny and I are not having sex. And I asked Lenny, is it me? And he says, no, it's not me. I was like, girl, that was like Kiki said, because she was talking about he's working out, he got a trainer. And Kiki was like, when they working out, they want to do the boom, boom. I was like, exactly. And if you ain't getting the boom, boom, he's giving the boom, boom to somebody else. I was like, girl, you right on the money with that one. Girl, Lenny is giving it to somebody else. Now, I don't know how factual this is, but the rumor had been going around, because you guys remember last season, she talked about him having an affair on her, right? And then the rumor then and the rumor currently is that the girl that he's been having an affair with, well, now his girlfriend is, what is it? Leah. Oop, wrong person. Not Leah. What was that girl's name? Morgan from Bad Girls Club Miami. I don't know how true that is. That's alleged. That's his girlfriend, but that's the rumor that Morgan from BGC 5 Miami is his girlfriend. If you guys watched Bad Girls Club back in the day, you will know who I'm talking about. The one that got kicked out from going to the production room and just tearing the shit up. So Lisa then is talking about the fact that, she and Larsa, they haven't really had much. They keep talking about New York, but if you guys don't realize, only show that I know that talks about it like that is the Real Housewives of, not Real Housewives, what's the show? Love and Marriage Huntsville. They're the only ones that get, that say reunion, but New York is the reunion, right? So Larsa and Lisa haven't really had a conversation with each other since the reunion last season, and I guess because Lisa didn't defend Larsa, because they showed the comment about Adriana talking about Larsa's butt, but girl, we're gonna talk about Larsa's butt in just a minute, right? So we later see Lisa cooking with her mother-in-law, and she's talking about how things are good between she and her mother-in-law. I was like, girl, you might want to dial it back on that one, because I wonder how much your mother-in-law knows about your husband's extracurricular activities. And then, y'all, it took me to this episode to realize that Lenny was Jewish when Gertie called her Lisa Hochstein. I was like, Hochstein? I was like, wait a minute, Lenny's Jewish? It was in this episode that I realized Lenny was Jewish. I was like, he's Jewish. I don't know why I don't know why I wasn't thinking about that from previous seasons, but I was like, he's Jewish. So Lisa is talking about how she wants to create, these traditions with her kids. I'm like, girl, it's just gonna be you. And in that scene, I was like, girl, you just don't see. I mean, this man is sitting here at the table. Now, he said he was texting the person about their wine thing. I was like, girl, he's just being disrespectful to you. But hey, she sat there. I was like, wouldn't have been me. Damn sure wouldn't have been me. But hey, we gonna see how this plays out later in the season. But let's pause here and move forward, you guys. So next up, you guys, we got Nicole. So I like the two new additions. I like all the additions that we brought to Miami last season. I like Gertie, I like Julia, and I love Julia, and I love Dr. Nicole. I love Nicole, right? So Nicole, you guys know that she and Anthony, they got married over the New Year. And so at this point, they were packing for a trip to go to St. Bart's to celebrate a friend's birthday. Child, I want to be like Anthony when I grow up. All them cars that Anthony got, whew. So they talk about their engagement party and they talk about their wedding. So, what's his name? Anthony asked Dr. Nicole, has she talked to her father? And she says, no. He says, are you going to invite him to the wedding? She says, yes. I was like, okay. You guys remember how things ended with her father last season when he showed up to that restaurant drunk. And then, didn't he say he had another baby on the way? Oof. Spread your worms like Diddy. Just nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Let's pause here, you guys, and wrap up the episode. All right, you guys, so Larsa. Girl, whoever did your ass, please sue them. They got you out here built like a whole ass ant. And then Gertie went over to her place. She's like, let me see that ass. I'm like, girl, it ain't much to see. Like, ooh, why don't y'all get something, put it in your thighs? When you get your ass done, get some shit put in, not just regular. Just get some fat transferred to your thighs as well, because the ass to thigh ratio is just off. So Larsa has moved into a new place, so it is a penthouse. Now, I do want to mention what Lisa said. Now, Lisa was talking about what this blog says, that people who live in her apartment are, well, technically, all she said was they were OnlyFans people, which, Larsa, you're part of OnlyFans. You talked about how you make $10,000 a day by showing your feet last season, so I didn't understand how Larsa got so upset. But Lisa said earlier that, you know, people who live in her building are, you know, OnlyFans, prostitutes, pimps, and and all kinds of stuff like that, right? Sounded like sex workers. So it's a 5-bedroom penthouse. She has a private elevator, right? So then, remember I told you guys earlier about the issues with Gertie and Alexia. So Gertie is saying that saying it the other way around, that Alexia was rude to her, right? That Alexia was comparing the foundation that she had for her brother and her nieces. She compared it to the bachelorette party, and she felt offended by that. We'll get into that. I feel like we're going to talk about that later on in this season, right? So Larsa, she's still upset with Julia and with Adriana. I mean, girl, if the shoe fit, baby girl, your ass you look like a Bug's Life. So, sorry. So Larsa's gonna be having a housewarming party, right? So the housewarming party, she's gonna have a housewarming in her home, and then she's gonna go upstairs and have, like, you know, like how people have the clubhouses and whatnot. Now, when she said that, when that guy asked her what was her and her friend's name, she said Beyonce and Killer. I was like, girl, bitch, you wish. So in her home, she's having a very intimate party. So she's inviting everyone with the exception of Adriana and Julia. Nicole is not going to make it because, like I said earlier, she and Anthony are out of town, right? So Kiki got there first. Now, mind you, when Lisa was getting ready, Lisa was like, you know what, I want to tell Larsa the joke that I said. Well, Kiki went one step ahead of her and already told Larsa what the joke was, right? And I'm like, but girl, you bragged about OnlyFans last season, so what are you upset about? Like, I just didn't understand that, right? So when Marisol got there, she asked Marisol, what did Lisa say? No one says it correctly. And here's my thing with Marisol. Marisol is a flip-flopper because Marisol in her interview said that she knew that that Lisa was saying it as a joke, but then when you're in front of Larsa, you never mentioned that it was a joke. So Lisa arrives and Larsa wants to address her. And then Larsa's like, well, what if I said that what if I said that, you and Lenny rent out your home so you can pay your mortgage? Child, that's what upset Lisa. I was like, girl, that's what upset you? And not all the rumors that were out there about your husband still cheating on you? Okay. I mean, hey, she was mad about the mortgage. I was like, a mortgage? You're mad about having a mortgage? Not that your husband is, okay, very interesting. She was mad about the mortgage and she was mad about Kiki, and she kept repeating that Kiki told Larsa, Kiki told Larsa, Kiki told Larsa. At one point, Gertie was like, girl, you said it plenty of times. So they argued, they went upstairs, they continued to argue. I was like, it ain't that big of a deal. Like, bitch, if you got a mortgage, you got a goddamn mortgage. What the hell is the problem? It is your home. It ain't that big of a deal. But Lisa was pissed. But at one point, Lisa said, she's on her period. I was like, okay, that makes sense. So not Gertie, but Adriana and Julia showed up, right? And Adriana actually had an olive branch. I was like, I didn't even know that. I was with Larsa. I didn't even know that those were real. An olive branch? Like, did you take like from okay. I mean, she came with an olive branch. So far right now, all the girls are getting along. Larsa wants to be, Adriana, they can move forward right now. And her and Julia are going to move forward, but we're going to see how long that lasts. But that is episode 1, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this first opening episode of Real Housewives of Miami. I enjoyed it, you guys. It was a really good one. Drop down in the comment section, subscribe to the channel, you guys. Turn your post notifications, share the video, and until the next time, stay safe, you guys. Take care of yourselves, be blessed, and I'll see you guys later.